Alright, sure, we'll get started. Alright, hey, this is Mike Coppolino, and I have PTSD from being myself. Thank you. I'm telling jokes tonight. This is it's a Saturday, February 1st. I guess. I don't know. I've been working so much I can't tell. But it's like Saturday at midnight. I got locked out of Mutiny. Not really, but there's a party. It's like a private party, and I wasn't invited. So this will be extra awkward. But this is practice session 35 of the comedy album Jokes for Schizophrenics. Hey everybody, I'm Mike Coppolino, and I look like I smell. Yes, thank you. I look like drugs. Those are my monikers for tonight. I don't know. Let's get started with jokes. First off, here. Oh, hello.
Dude, I need to tell you something.
Jeez. This is so unprepared. I mean, ow. Am I even acclimated to this? Oh, there it is. All right. I should start telling jokes anyways. People keep telling me I live in a bad neighborhood because I live there. Thank you. It's not true, though. Actually, I live in a bad neighborhood because I built it myself. Thanks. It's already off to a slow start. But why not? I mean, my audience is a parking meter and a tree. So that's always great. I think we're just hoping for like a bunch of like Uber noise and Lyft noise tonight because people have been driving like dicks. So that'll happen. It's like 12 o'clock. People are getting places. Apparently there's a Super Bowl tomorrow. So, but I can't tell, you know. Should do some football related jokes just for the Super Bowl. I have like a football joke. The expansion team, the Santa Fe Chupacabras, was also to go this year. But then the whole team fell through because all the players died of malnutrition. Thank you. All right, hello. I don't even know where I'm at right now. So I've been taking pills for anxiety, and so far it's been terrifying. It's been crazy. My doctor keeps telling me he knows what he's doing. And I said, of course you know. You're a great white shark. You're fucking 11 feet long. I mean, thanks Obamacare for hiring sharks to do our medicine. You have the nerve of my doctor. He actually prescribed jump scare videos. He prescribed jump scare videos for me to strengthen my heart. So I've had to watch a bunch of jump scare videos. Like every fucking clown that would jump out at me. I got to see that, you know? Everything. Like monkeys jumping out at me, inappropriate moments. Like I'm like immune to jump scare videos now. I just assume everything is a jump scare video. Like I was watching this one that the doctor prescribed me. It's called Ghosts on a Train. It was already Ghosts on a Train. So I knew I was going to get scared. So I'm watching this fucking movie, and it's like 3 minutes and 30 seconds of me watching somebody watch a landscape move by on a train. And it's all snowy out there, and every once in a while, a passenger moves past the window this guy is filming his movie through, and he claims that's a ghost. And that's what happens for 3 minutes and 30 seconds. I got to watch that, preparing to be scared, and nothing happened. I felt totally gypped, to see ghosts on a train and not see any action, not see any real ghosts. I mean, if I was going to make Ghosts on a Train as a movie, I would do it totally differently. I would do it totally differently. I would just do it like there was some government experiment. There we go. It was like some government experiment where they had a bunch of like hardcore like soldiers get shot up in a war, and as they were dying, like AKA Jacob's Ladder, these soldiers signed a petition like to be put in a room where their like spirit energy was gathered together and stored in a box. So all these amazing soldiers go to this room and they get like science fiction into this small Ghostbusters like box. Alright? And that's how the movie starts. You know, to preserving these guys. And what happens is this like whole like experiment gets stored for like 30 years. It just stays in this box for 30 years. Like, and it gets the spirit energy gets moved around from place to place, usually on a train. You know, usually on a train. You know, they just carry it on trains, like from like NORAD to somewhere else. And so, anyways, these ghosts are in this box, like they're being like transported, like through like the Appalachian Mountains, and somehow the box like malfunctions. No one knows why. The box malfunctions, and all of these fucking ghosts leak out of the box, like on this train ride. It's like an Amtrak, and what actually happens before all of that happens, it's just ghosts on a train, alright? That's all it is. It's just like regular passengers that are ghosts on a train. And along with other passengers on the train, alright? And these are all ghosts that died on the train and the whole 40 years of its existence. And they just hang out as passengers. And you don't even really know they're ghosts. They just like, you know, stroll up to the bar and, you know, drink like ghost drinks from a ghost bartender, you know? Like it's a totally separate world for them, but they don't know it. They just assume there's two bartenders, you know? So these ghosts are on the train just cruising around, you know, being passengers with all the other passengers. And then this box of like military ghosts like leaks out by accident. And what happens is these ghosts or the spirit energy of like the soldiers comes out, and they've been locked in this box for like 25 years, and they don't know anything about themselves. They know nothing about themselves. They don't know they're soldiers. They're just like pissed off soldiers locked in a box for 25 years. They come out as spirits, and they have no concept of anything other than self-defense. And they do it very proficiently on this train. And that's what happens. These ghosts get unleashed, and they start just ripping off feet and hands and shit, and just breaking people with all this martial arts that's like muscle like memory. And that's the only thing these ghosts remember is muscle memory and being pissed off. So they start like ripping all these fucking like people apart, and they see the ghosts that are already on the train, and they just assume there are other human beings, and they start attacking these ghosts, and they rip them apart horribly. But then they just like disappear and get reincorporated or discorporated or corporated as ghosts again. And they just say, "Why are you doing that?" They're all like pissed off Jews. "Why are you doing that? Why are you like ripping off my feet and my hands?" And then they just get taken apart again. All these like regular humans are like fleeing all over the place while this is going on. And that happens for a long time. Like as part of this movie, at least 45 minutes of like pure gore. Just humans getting ripped apart by ghosts that don't know they're ghosts. Like they have like no concept of going through walls or anything. They have no concept of it. They just like understand all this stuff by accident. It's like one of the plot points of the movie. But anyways, these ghosts, these military ghosts are killing all these people and all these ghosts. And then these ghosts are coming back, and they're just being more and more pissed off. And as this is happening, they're all starting to learn self-defense. because they realize that they could just pile on to these ghosts, like we totally outnumber them, especially now that they're killing all these people on this train. Like there's tons of ghosts. We're totally aware of what our deal is. Like we've just been sitting on this train as dead people, and now there's more dead people, and we can't get off this train because all these pissed off ghosts are in here, and we want to get off. And it's like a whole physics thing too, like everything being trapped on the train, right? So this is the plot, all right? This is the plot. It just ends up being like a bunch of like regular ghosts, like that are humans, just getting pissed off at these military ghosts, and eventually they just outnumber them, and that's when the movie ends. They just balance each other out, and no more humans are dying. This is like 8 humans, like 2 of them are wearing bikinis. That's the end of the movie, right? But then the government gets wind. The government gets wind of this thing happening on the train. These ghosts on a train of obviously the experiment is let loose because there's been a lot of messages. So the government just sends a arsenal of weapons, like a barrage of missiles to this train and blows it all up, just obliterates it, but and along with the 8 survivors, they all die too, all right? But then this train just leaks out a bunch of pissed off ghosts, and there's 500 pissed off ghosts just leaking out into this Appalachian countryside full of trees, and they start leaking down the hill of the fucking city, and they start just killing people. They just start killing people and just getting more pissed off ghosts on their side to go against the government, because now they're indestructible. They're an indestructible army. They have no fear. They're all fucking ghosts, and while all this is happening, these millions of Indian ghosts are just hanging out in the trees, staring at all this shit, and just thinking, oh man, why didn't we think of that? Why didn't we think of that? Right on, lady. And that's how the movie ends. It ends with me not believing in ghosts. Because, if ghosts existed, we would all be really let's face it, done a lot of bad shit. Anyways, that's a joke. I'm going to start telling regular jokes now. I was recording for an album, so that's all right, I guess. So anyways, me and my girlfriend got into a terrible argument because we're Italian. Yeah, we got into a horrible argument. All arguments start just sitting on the toilet, minding my own business, preparing to go to work at 6:30 in the morning. I had a fucking paper in my lap, and she kicks the door in. There's not even a lock on the door. She just kicks it in, and it hits me, and I go, ow. And she comes in, and she doesn't even care, and she starts waving this fucking dead electric razor in my face, and I'm not worried because I know it's dead, because she's telling me it's dead. She's telling me I broke it. Right now, at 6:30 in the morning. I broke her Lady Norelco, and I have to get her a new one because there's that thick hair in there, and it broke it. And she was blaming me for it because she was conspicuous hair. And I told her, hey, I'm sorry, that's not my fault. Maybe your hair's thickening up. And then we got into a horrible argument. A pissed off argument, for 15 minutes. A pissed off argument. We just, we didn't hit each other or anything. We're not that Italian. But we just chased each other around the house and yelled at each other for 15 minutes. And it was all totally stupid. It was there was no reason for that to happen. Because we're in love. Obviously we're totally in love, and she knows she knows everything about me. She knows everything about me. She knows I don't use the tools to shave myself. Because I know she's right. I do have thick hair, And you know, I have thick hairs, and these things have like interchangeable heads and spinning blades, and they're made in China. You know, that could be shoddy, and they're made out of plastic, and they have like spinning blades in them too. I mean, they can snag me and just explode, and what would I say? You know? That's what would happen. I've seen a bunch of Clive Barker movies. I could just like start shaving myself, and then it'd be like Jesus wept, you know, like Hellraiser. It'd be like that, only all over my junk. So you know, I manscape, but I do it like a real man, you know, and she knows that. She knows because I use a lighter. Yeah, I use a lighter to manscape because that's what a real man does. You know, a real man manscapes with a lighter because it's cheaper. It's a skill. You have to know your hair burns, you know. And at the end of the process, you're all baby smooth for your lady, and you smell like barbecue, and she really digs that. You know, it's great. It's great. You know. Also, if you ever have to like shave the ass, like if you're really fastidious about grooming, like you don't have to like prop up a mirror and go into the alternate dimension with your fucking manscaping tools that might like explode. Also, you know, it's hard to park a boat. You know, people that are unfamiliar with that can like nick themselves like horribly. So yeah, you don't have to do that if you have a lighter. You know, you just have to listen. You just have to listen to the lighter doing the work. You know, because that's a skill. It's like you know, and then you're smooth. Yeah. Well, I don't manscape, but, you know, that's a joke, too. Oh, God. Where am I at right now? Oh, I've done acid, obviously. I mean, everybody knows that. I've done acid. Yeah. I've done acid over like 250 times. Yeah. Yeah, acid doesn't affect me anymore. It just makes me sober. It's always made me sober. Acid has always made me sober. Like I get on acid and I just like, I see the sky exploding. I just think, oh, you know, how should I dress? You know, I gotta go like cook a steak or something. You know, you just walk around, you know, covered in spiders and ants. And you know, you like the hallucinatory. So you just go out of the house, dressed up, start giving people ants. Just start giving people ants, just shaking their hands, letting ants crawl on them. Maybe they can find a more successful kitchen, you know? And you just do that, and you just like dream your way through it until you're like ant and spider free. And then you go like do stuff. I mean, that's what acid does. That's sobering, right? I don't know, bath salts get a bad rap, don't they? Bath salts. It's horrible, you know, just because some guy ate someone's face on a bicycle path in Florida, it doesn't mean bath salts are so terrible. You know, for every guy who chews someone's face off high on bath salts, it's like, you know, maybe there's like 2,000 people just visiting the emergency room with a shampoo bottle shoved up their ass. But for everybody else that does bath salts, like people like myself that are responsible, it's always like been a great time, you know? Like bath salts are great, you know? But whenever I do bath salts, I always like to roofie my own drink. And like I roofie my own drink when I smoke bath salts. You know, that when I get the urge to chop off my dick and jump out a window, I can quit being so impulsive. Oh, thank you. Hi, hello. Oh. So, hey everybody, what's the worst thing about doing cocaine in a bathroom? It's not seeing your kids on the weekend. Thank you. Oh, I should go back to jokes. I should just go back to one-liners now. Hey, there's nothing like two tweakers in a storage locker spraying themselves with cologne while looking for drugs. Except for maybe everything else two tweakers does. Thank you. All right. Oh, God. So I saw this news story the other day. Saw this news story where this man in Alabama jumped into a stream and caught a live trout with his hands. I saw a news story about that, you know? And then this guy caught the fish and tried to swallow it. He tried to swallow a live trout. And he made the news because he died of it. He died choking to death on a fish he caught with his own hands. That's how he made the news. Just goes to show you, not all people are pelicans. Not all people are pelicans. Sure, some people are pelicans, but they're magical creatures. You know? God. Oh, man. Durex just came out with a condom that enhances male sensitivity. Durex, the condom company, did that. Yeah. And for added value, each condom is wrapped in its own little apology note. Thank you, Urge. Oh, I have to be thoughtful now. Wow, so I don't know. I don't know if you're like me, but, you know, sometimes I like make people have things in their phones to avoid having to talk to them. You ever do that? I mean, you do it intentionally rather than just like doing it for fun. You know, I sometimes do it, you know, because I know a lot of people that are sober alcoholics. I know a lot of people that are sober alcoholics, they're already drinking at like 9:30 in the morning, and they're talking about work. You know, while they're unemployed, you know, they're talking about varnish and shit, and how great they are at like staining things. You know, like they've been damaged, and they're always like sitting next to me, talking and trying to show me stuff, like showing me some like skateboard trick they used to do, but now they have bad knees, so like they can't do it anymore. But they like to like flash it in my face, like saying they were like these great people before they were varnishers. And whenever they do that, I get super pissed off because not only am I bored, but my eyes are bad, so I can't even see what they want me to say. I just get irritated. So whenever they're doing that to me, I always like to just ask them questions, like things they might be interested in, you know? Like I ask people, hey, you ever wonder if they schedule executions for April 1st? Because I have a flip phone. I can't tell if they actually do that. Plus, I don't want to look it up. Because I don't want to be that person that looks that thing up. You know? Like, do they schedule executions for April 1st? It seems like a holiday, but, you know, not really a holiday. Like, people don't really take it seriously. But, you know, like, for legal reasons, and for, like, reasons of tradition, maybe we wouldn't schedule executions for April 1st. Maybe it would be like a day that people skipped, you know, as far as law is concerned, or tradition. So you can look it up. I mean, you can look. I make people look up things in their phones. You know, that's what I do. But I'll save you the trouble. All right, I'll save you the trouble. They actually do not schedule execution for April 1st. Like there's never been an execution that happened on April 1st. Because yeah, there hasn't. All the executions actually happened on 4/20. Apparently, almost every execution happens on 4/20, which is Earth Day, and Hitler's birthday. Here's another thing I learned by looking up things. I learned that you can request a day of execution. You can request it. You know, you can like forego all the stays and just choose whatever day you want. Nobody chooses April 1st for some reason, but a lot of people choose April 20th. That's the truth. There's some hardcore people out there that want to die on Hitler's birthday. You know? Oh, man. So yeah, it's true. You can request your day of execution if you don't want to fight it. It's true. You go look it up. No, none of that's true. I haven't looked up any of that. I just have inferred that how horrible it would be to die on April 1st. Because people just keep telling you, you got a call from the governor, and they'd still be doing the same execution protocol, and you knew everything about it. Like they give you a last meal, and you stare at it, and they go, it's okay, you get 2 last meals. You don't schedule an execution on April 1st. They don't, And you'd be strapped to the chair on April 1st, and they start injecting you with the fucking death drugs, and you start screaming, and the guard shows up and, hey, why are you screaming? Why are you screaming? We're just injecting you with tap water. Seriously, get up, get out of your chair. Get out of your chair, go back to your house that you've been staying at, waiting for execution, No, seriously, get up, get out of your chair. Why are you even strapped in? This is just a practice, right? And then you would just be robbed of anger, as you died. And wouldn't that be funny? Man. Some jokes aren't jokes, right? Those aren't jokes. Plus, it's all irrelevant. I don't make people look at things in their phones anymore because I don't get a thrill out of it anymore. They used to get pleasure out of it, sexual pleasure. But now my newest fetish is just looking suspicious. It's just looking suspicious. It's my newest fetish. It's really easy. All I have to do is do this. Whatever this is, but sometimes I work at it, whenever I go to the airport, I just wear a turban. That's some work. It's not even like a real turban. I had to actually make it up. But people think it's a turban because they see my face and they go, oh, that's suspicious, Plus, I have a huge boner. Oh, man. Sometimes when I see the cops, that's always thrilling. I just start running. But then they catch me because it's hard to run when you're jerking off. Oh, God. Oh, what do I even talk about? Oh, jeez. Where am I at? Oh, I saw the new Wonder Woman porno the other day. The new Wonder Woman porno? Have you seen it? It's like all the other ones. It's like the one where Wonder Woman uses her vagina as a golden lasso. They're all the same. She just screws people until she gets them to tell the truth. That's her special power in all these pornos. But this one was not very well funded. It didn't seem like they had much of a budget. Because every time Wonder Woman screwed someone, they just ended up telling her they weren't a movie producer. Yeah. Nobody pays attention to that. That's horrible. Those are horrible jokes. But, I'm jaded by porn. I'm fucking old. I'm like the history of free porn. I remember, first porn that was free. Before even sex. There was free porn. Oh, man. I'm pretty old. I'm seriously a historical figure in some ways. When I was in kindergarten in 1974, we made ashtrays in class. We made ashtrays as part of an art project while we were in kindergarten. Because it was the simplest thing to make. And it was took some work. It took some skill for a kid in kindergarten. So we made ashtrays in kindergarten, and then we got graded on it. We got graded on making ashtrays. And then we brought them home to our parents, and our parents really loved them, and they treasured them. And they still have them. This is my kid's ashtray. And that was a window of opportunity. Those years where you can just do arts and crafts in schools, and there was nobody suing the school over it. It was an easy time. People just died. can you imagine it now? Like people would sit at school. That'd be fucking crazy. I'm old. You know, I grew up in the 90s. I learned how to make a crack pipe out of anything. I learned how to make a crack pipe out of anything because I grew up in the 90s. But now I don't have to. I can just make a crack pipe out of crack. Just hold it and light myself on fire, you know? I inject this heroin directly into my sweater just to keep her feeling cold, you know? I knew where the vein was. I could tell. Oh, look at these Lyft drivers. And look at this cop just waiting for the pounce on this guy. Oh, I love it. Is it going to happen? No, it won't. Lyft drivers, they just can't, they just are immune to us. It's just the way it is. Because people understand. People understand that's how it is. You know, you just cause an accident. Ah, man. I mean, these people are doomed souls, I think, the Lyft drivers. Like, they're indentured servants, aren't they? Oh. Where was I at? What was I talking about? Oh, the free porn, all right? Anyways, I was old. In like 1978, I was 9 years old. And I learned they can get porn by watching television. Like, there was a thing they used to send porn directly through television in 1978. And you had to, like, buy an unscrambler to, like, watch it. It was like a little box you put on the fucking television that would unscramble the porn if you were, like, adults in 1978. Like, you know, like handlebar mustache porn, you know? So that shit was on regular television. But the whole system was inefficient because it actually was a channel. It was just a channel called 18 and 5/8. It was like 18 and 5/8 was the porn channel on regular television. And you couldn't get that channel because like the knobs only went to 18 to 19. Like those are the frequencies. So what you would do is every once in a while you'd be like, trying to get to some like stupid station like the Spanish station or whatever and you'd be clicking to this channel and you'd see like a glimpse of porn like on the channel for like half a second, like all streamlined and everything, and you go, oh my god, I saw some porn, but what happened? Why is it not there anymore? And you start like raking the knob like a fucking like radio dialer, like trying to radio in like some frequency from World War II or something. Like you're that guy looking for it, but when you're looking for porn, not looking for like decode some stuff, but you are decoding some stuff. Anyways, you're 9 years old, you just want to see it. And you just see some like breasts and like some action, and you go, oh my god, this is like porn. And that was me. That was me. I was like the first guy to do that. I was the first guy to like, with a bunch of other people, to see free porn. Like I was 9, you know? So I got a real thrill from that. But now I'm like totally jaded by porn. Like I watched the Two Girls One Cup channel. That's where I get the Wonder Woman porno. You know, I watched it. I wasn't that impressed by it. Because now the only porn I really get like enthused by is like revenge porn with clowns or midgets in it. That's the only stuff I'm into right now. Because it's just like, you know, I'm burned out on everything else. And I don't watch bestiality porn because that's just gross. Like, who wants to see a guy fucking a horse? Or, like, you know, some pig fucking a nun? Like, nobody wants to see about that. Nobody just, I mean, you want to hear about it because you don't want to know that's happening, but you don't want to see it. Thing is, I was watching this porno the other day. I was watching this porno where these two clowns in a room were getting packages of mementos from people. They were getting like little packages of like clothing, items of clothing, and mink stoles and vests, like ski vests. And they were getting these notes from people that are pissed off. They're all pissed off at the person who owned this like fucking mink stole, you know? Like there's some grandmother that's a Scientologist or something. And she wants her like son to be a Scientologist, you know, so he could inherit the money from her. But in reality, she's just going to give the money to the church. So he's all pissed off about it, and he has her mink stole, and he's telling them, these two clowns, you know, you gotta fuck in front of this mink stole. You gotta do clown porn in front of my grandmother's stole. And there's a bunch of other letters, similar letters, and similar themes of revenge. So these clowns read off these letters, and then they hang all of the clothing around the bed, on these racks. And it's all staring at these two clowns, and they just start fucking in front of the clothing. Hardcore fucking for 15 minutes. Just clowning all over the place. Hardcore, and they're finished, they're exhausted and sweaty. And then they just take all the clothing and they just put it back into the original boxes, and then they they keep the notes, and then they put the DVD in there. And that's the DVD, And then later on, this grandmother's wearing this mink stole, and then the son gets to show her the video of these two clowns fucking in front of it, and then she I was wearing this, I was wearing this at restaurants, it'd be something to remember your grandmother by, if she was cruel. I mean, for that amount of money and knowing you're not going to get any of it, that's it. She's a Scientologist or a Jehovah's Witness. That's it. She's in the mob. They got her. There's no money left. So anyways, I'm terrible at relationships. Yeah, all of my ex-girlfriends still like me. Thank you. All right. Oh, God. Been doing jokes for 30 minutes. I'm sorry. Would you like to hear a joke? It might be funny. All right. So I thought I was dying the other day, but then I realized I was cheap and Crafton Crunch was on sale. So that happened to me. I have a 50-year-old digestive system. Oh, man. So I'm running out the night with a bunch of old person jokes, I guess. Old person jokes. Cool old person jokes. I actually made I made ashtrays in kindergarten. Can you imagine that? And got graded on it? See, I'm all discombobulated right now. That's a sign of senility, It is. I had a great Alzheimer's joke. But, here it is. Some people have Alzheimer's, everyone else has Google. Alright. So anyways, I had a rough day at the beach the other day. I was at the beach 4 days ago. Lifeguard had me to save me from drowning. To save me from drowning in my own vomit. Thank you. Alright. Oh, man. I started my financial planner the other day. Because, hey, look at me. Anyways, after going over the books, we decided my best option for retirement was to take enough drugs to hallucinate a condominium. So I did that, and then I sold the condominium, and then I bought more drugs. All right, and then I moved into a 3-bedroom house with a swimming pool. I just hallucinated. I had more drugs to hallucinate with, therefore I had more equity. No, it seemed like a fucking great plan, though, right? I mean, it didn't work. Because every time I met the financial planner, we did all the drugs, and this office was still a coffee shop. So it didn't work. I said, there's a flaw in this plan. Why don't we just take enough drugs to hallucinate more drugs? Like, why are we doing all of this, like, real estate transactions? There's no need for that. I'll just hallucinate more drugs and have a great house. You know? He said, you shouldn't do that. But I did it, and now I live in Greeley. Thank you. I live in Greeley now. That's a regional joke. Alright. Oh, jeez, where am I at? Oh, I was watching this documentary about spiders the other day. Because, you know, I'm the type of guy that watches those. Because I'm afraid of spiders, but I still want to confront them. You know, I gotta watch it for all the videos. You know, I gotta stay scared. You know, so I was watching this documentary about spiders, and it was fucking ridiculous. Because they were feeding drugs to spiders. They were feeding drugs to spiders to see what kind of webs they would draw. And they were actually filming it. The fucking crazy documentary. It was like, they're fucking nuts. They're feeding these spiders flies laced with LSD to see what kind of webs they would draw. Because spiders are the only things that can, like, communicate with the world through their webs and still have, like, small invertebrate brains. You know? They want to see how smart these small brains are, you know? How much they can be fucked with. So they feed these spiders flies laced with LSD, and the spiders start drawing these fucking funnel webs, you know? And they're like orb weavers, and now they're doing funnel webs. They're like, and then the webs start getting really thick, and just like spokes in a wheel, and they turn into like a fucking Mobius strip. They start spinning Mobius strips. And then the spiders get so fucked up, they just keep feeding these spiders flies laced with LSD in stronger and stronger doses. And the spiders finally just spin a ball of web in the corner of the cage, like a small one, and they stand on the fucking ball of web, and they say, I'm done with this experiment. And that was the end of the fucking, like, experiment. There was like 5 more spiders, like, more and more fucked up, just sitting on these same balls of web and just not dying, but, you know, just for a longer period of time. Hello.
High school.
So,
Wow.
so anyways, oh, hello. This is a very involved joke. So anyways, these spiders, like, obviously are fucked up on drugs because they were doing acid, all right? And we got to see that in this film. We got to see the effects of, like, drugs on spiders in reality. And I was watching that, and I was, like, really impressed, you know, because spiders have independent thought. And you know, that's a little scary. But I also was, like, even more impressed by what a horrible trip these flies must have been on. Like, Jesus. I mean, can you imagine it for flies? Like just because they can't spin a web, just because they can't communicate with the world that they're on drugs, doesn't mean they're not on drugs. Not feeling the effects of LSD. Could be affecting everything. And, you know, flies have 10,000 eyes. You know, if they're on acid, that's a horrible start. It'd just be like, what would that be? What sort of trails would you be on? What would you see with 10,000 eyes on acid? Nothing. Nothing at all. And then they get stuck in a web while they're on acid. These flies get stuck in a web while they're on acid. And flies have complete freedom. Flies have complete freedom as flies because they have wings and they fly around and they eat shit all day. And that's complete freedom because shit's everywhere and they love it. So they have that, and then they're stuck in a web while they're on acid, and then they get eaten by a spider while they're on acid as part of an experiment. I mean, can you imagine that? That'd be fucking horrible. That'd be the most frightening thing in the world. Like I've done 2 hits of acid at Disneyland, and I freaked out on Pirates of the Caribbean. I freaked out on Pirates of the Caribbean, and I wasn't even on the ride. I was just staring at the restaurant. I was just staring at the lights in the restaurant, and I got frozen. I curled up on 2 hits of acid. I was like a wimp back then. Just standing in line, and they had to take me like away to another section of the park, like the David Cronenberg section of the park, where they just put you in a green room underneath the park, like by the canoes, and they make you like sit there and wait for your friends while you're on acid. And that's the other part of Disneyland that you trip out at. You know, you have to calm down. But, you know, because they're liable for you now that you're there. Now you're out of yourself. That's it. You know, you got to sit here with these cops. It's like the David Cronenberg section of the park, you know? Yeah, I freaked out. I mean, but yeah. Can you imagine that for flies? You know, it's fucking horrible. I'm just trying to generate empathy for flies. That's what I did when I came out of the house. You know, they also tested other drugs on the spiders to see what kind of webs they would draw. You know, they tested caffeine on the spiders and they documented it. And the spiders just drew really chaotic webs that wouldn't catch any flies. Like flies just passed right through because they like had a work ethic, but not really. And then they dosed these spiders with meth, and they realized they were covered in spider and flipped out. Yeah, and that's the end of that joke. Where am I at? So I was at a Psychics convention the other day. Boy, was that shit predictable. Thank you. Knock, knock. Knock, knock. Who's there? Reverse mortgage. Reverse mortgage who? Reverse mortgage, why am I knocking on this door? This is my house now. Thank you. Oh. They say everything comes in handy for the obsessive masturbator. They say everything comes in handy for the obsessive masturbator. I know, it's true. Yeah, last night I jerked off to complete privacy. And I wore a tinfoil hat while I did it, you know, because Jesus is watching, and, you know, Jesus works for the government now. Where do I end this? Oh. Alright, so I guess this is for, like, Steve Vanderplug. This is like 30 minutes so far, I bet. This is like 30 minutes. It might even be 28 minutes. Or it might be 43 minutes. I don't know. I don't care. It's cold out. I'm talking to like a parking meter and a tree. Yeah, I'm standing in the middle of the sidewalk, hoping people like just walk past like it's traffic. Yeah, it's pretty impressive. I also have flyers out for the show. It's happening February 8th at Mutiny Bookstore. The Mutiny Bookstore, Mutiny Information Cafe, where I do some comedy here in the back room. But there's only like 30 seats in the back room, and it's a very small like stage. So it's a small stage. I mean, it's like we have to move tables and chairs around, and like you can set down coffees and stuff, and singers, and you can like sit there and watch a show. It's like room for like 40 people. It'll be on February 8th at 11:30. At 11:30 p.m. And who's going to be on the show? It's going to be Joel Vernon, Wes Williams, Helen Richter. I don't know. It's going to be Brian Evans. Amazingly, Brian Evans has made it. It has made it. He's pretty good. And Jose McCall. Jose McCall's going to be on the show. Jose McCall also like hosts the open mic here at Mutiny Cafe. It's been going on for 3 years, and it's a pretty nice little open mic. It's you know, there might be 4 people in the audience, but like people wander in from the bookstore, so it's kind of nice. I mean, you could do that. Like the whole show is going to be like that. Like this isn't even advertising. I'm just being a dick, but anyways, I got flyers out. I'm probably gonna like pass out a few flyers. And we'll have a show February 8th. So if you want to be here, it's like 35 seats. hard. So I gotta end this. I gotta end this set with like a standard like finale. You know, I could do like I could work